Hello and welcome to another 5-minute review. Today we're taking a look at Dark Void. Games like this are rare nowadays. Most developers and companies tend to play it safe regarding game design and mechanics. After all, game development is expensive, so it's risky to take chances on trying new things. During the 7th generation of consoles, it was more common to see games stray from the norms and experiment with new gameplay mechanics. And so enters Dark Void, a game that definitely breaks from those norms by molding third-person shooter gameplay and combat flight mechanics.
Nuh-uh. I'm gonna take that gun out.
Games live or die by their controls, and in my initial hours, Dark Void was on life support. The learning curve for this game was surprisingly high, but only initially. What makes things difficult is the fact that you have so many different playstyles and control schemes at your disposal. The variety and differing playstyles are great positives, but also minor negatives. You see, in some levels you have the ability to switch between flying, hovering, and cover-based third-person shooting. Switching between these playstyles is almost instant, which is great, but the concept is so new that it can be a little disorientating, especially during gameplay segments that can give you vertigo, while you hang on for dear life, blasting away at evil alien dudes. And this is why the initial hours of Dark Void can be a little frustrating. Learning the game's nuances and gameplay mechanics takes some time, but once things start to gel, the gameplay is fun and frantic. Once you master switching between flying and shooting, and not smashing your face into a cliff, the gameplay is a liberating experience. With that said, this game is at its best when it gives players an open area with plenty of space for flying and gameplay freedom. Unfortunately, there are quite a few linear levels that don't grant as much freedom for combat, and the third-person shooting, when taken by itself, isn't that impressive. And also, the game's QuickTime events are horrible, and some may not like how many shots it takes to get to the center of an evil alien robot thing. Seriously, these guys can take a ridiculous amount of damage. The game's story revolves around the mysteries surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. Apparently, it has the tendency to teleport people to other dimensions or something, and as it turns out, there's a bunch of evil robot alien dudes and other things to shoot when you get there, because if there wasn't, this wouldn't be a very fun game. In all honesty, though, it's a fun romp, in a cheesy summer action movie kind of way. Throughout the game, you play as the likable Will Gray, voiced by none other than Nolan North.
Never knew you cared.
Through your journey, you'll see other likable characters like Nikolai Tesla and Will's love interest, Ava.
I guess I got here just in time.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
The sci-fi World War II setting definitely creates a cool atmosphere, which helps push the story along, making for an engaging experience. Dark Void's visuals are pretty decent. The lighting and effects look fantastic, but some aspects aren't that great. The frame rate will sometimes puke, animations are stiff, and character models are flat. The game also suffers from slow texture loading, like a lot of games that have used the Unreal Engine. Now, fortunately, the game does have a lot of style, which makes up for some of its visual shortcomings. Sound design is actually good, with great-sounding weapons, good voice acting, and some memorable bass-driven tunes that help fuel your penchant for curb-stomping evil alien robot things.
Nice work. That disabled the security.
Once you play through the 10-hour campaign, there's little reason to play through it again. But Dark Void does provide a unique and enjoyable experience, especially to those that like campy action movies. The gameplay is fun once you get the hang of it, and smooshing alien heads is always a good time. If you enjoyed this review, please feel free to like it, and maybe subscribe for more 5-minute reviews in the future. Thanks, guys!